kind of catch us up to speed, what you guys do, and then how you guys kind of integrate in the NDI BirdDog realm, why you guys are one of our partners.
Yeah, so basically CyanView started like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
We come from the mini camera world, so all the specialty cam, etc. So all the cameras that don't have any RCP, we provide a way to shade it correctly, to integrate it into the OB workflow and match them with the main camera.
Nice.
That's where we started like 4 years ago on by providing this kind of shading and control capability to the camera. They take some importance in the show, so they use it more and more. And they ask us to integrate different kind of camera. So with the time going on, we started to integrate camera, camcorder, system camera, PTZ. So integrated multiple camera because it's a need to shade match camera.
Absolutely, for sure.
Only the main camera, the CCU, AVoverIP. So we had to provide a way to integrate all this camera together in an OB truck. Shading, tally, integration with router and stuff like that.
Okay.
And we are also quite active. So the next step for that is that this control is local. So everything is IP. If the camera is IP, the RCP talk to the camera directly. And if the camera is not IP, then we have like converters that just put your camera that is serial to IP. Then we control it over IP.
Yeah.
For PTZ, it's easy because the RCP can talk to all the PTZ at the same time.
Right.
And we can mix them together. And the next step for that is to provide the same kind of control, not only on the LAN, but remotely, for remote production, remote control. So your cam can be in different studios in the world, in an helicopter, on a motorbike, etc. We can control everything. So we are quite active also in remote production, remote control.
So how, just in brief, because we do like BirdDog Cloud and a few other things, but how do you guys achieve kind of that mobile platform?
Basically, what we are focused only on the control part.
Right.
We don't do any video transport or anything else because it's another game on not specializing side.
Yeah, for sure.
So we prefer to stay on what we know.
Yeah.
So on the shading side, the big challenge is that you have a latency on the channel of the data control, and also on the latency of the video feedback. So when you turn a button, you increase the gain. It's applied more or less immediately to the camera, but then you have the latency of the video feedback when you have encoding and stuff like that.
Right.
So we had this kind of stuff. Issue on, you have a lot of cameras that can work out of the box remotely because you put it in a VPN basically. If the camera is IP and you expect it to work.
Right.
That's the theory, but in the real life, it's not working like that. Because the camera protocol, they are all different. They are not meant to work over a latency network.
Right.
So let's take a PTZ, for example. If you need to increase the gain, because it's IP, you open a connection, you request the value, you change the value, you check that the value is, you exchange like 5-10 messages.
Right.
If you are a 1 millisecond latency network, it's imperceptible.
Right.
If you have 100 milliseconds on the network, just to increase the gain by 1 dB, you have like 1 second latency, which is not acceptable anymore.
Right.
So we worked a lot on providing a universal way to exchange shading information with reduced latency, reduced network consumption to work over 4G, HF, etc.
Oh, wow.
And to reduce the latency, how we do is that the RCP just send to another device on the camera side, okay, increase the gain by 1 dB and don't expect anything.
Right.
And then this device talk to the camera locally without any latency. And if there is 10 messages, it's local 1 millisecond. So from glass to glass, we have a reduced latency. And if we have network cuts, etc., it makes it more robust because the camera is still controlled locally.
Right. Okay. So that makes a ton of sense. I'm trying to wrap my brain. There's a lot of information here. So you guys, so you make your own interface to allow for it. Now, is there like do you guys need to get the products in hands to get them programmed correctly, or do you have like a universal controller that things can kind of be plugged into and then you can talk to that?
Yeah, exactly. At first, when you release a new camera or stuff like that, we need to integrate it first.
Right.
So we need to talk to you. You give us the protocol. We integrate the protocol. We test it with a real camera, and if everything is okay, then it's done. Then the client, what he will do basically, we have a universal RCP. he click on a plus, he configure a new camera, he put a number, a name, he select the brand BirdDog, he selects the correct model,
Nice.
he enters the IP, it connects, and that's it.
Okay, so you have like profiles built. Basically, your programmers are building profiles.
Yeah,
for
in our
products.
we have a lot of camera supported, so the client just open a web page, he select BirdDog in the brand, he
Awesome.
select the model. We have implemented all your model from P100, P200, P400, P4K. He just enters the IP, and that's it. He has the shading automatically.
Yeah, so I've been having a lot of conversations with folks about it's the age, it's like the IP age, right? But it's also the need to make it user approachable and attainable, essentially, because like not everybody is a network administrator, and so they have to basically like they understand the concept, but we've got to meet the customer kind of where they're at, and the easier it is to set up, the faster for integrators to like get in, install, and bill and make money, but also for the customer then to like a lot less downtime in their studios and all that sort of thing. So it's like all these customers all of a sudden really focused on the customer experience and it being simple to set up, and so having pre-built profiles and all that. That's a common theme that's showing up in the broadcast IP realm, I guess, at this point.
Yeah, and I think it's part of the game because the broadcast world is really moving fast, especially with the pandemic. They are moving fast from SDI to IP. But when you do this kind of transition, it's not just replacing SDI with a BNC to RG45.
Right.
You need to learn IP, you need to learn mask, gateway, routing, VLAN. You have a lot of stuff to understand. And it's more complex to set up correctly and to diagnostic, because a BNC, it's easy. You unplug, you plug, it works.
Right.
In IP, you have one single pipeline with different device, same priority. It's more complex. I think that they need to understand a lot of stuff together. So we see it's a main struggle for IP. People are afraid of IP, mask, gateways. It's really something that they are afraid of. So that's why we put a lot of effort into this kind of easy setup where everything is smooth, pre-configured. They just select the brand model, the IP, they look in your manual. It's quite easy.
Right. So it's got to be quite a mountain to climb, though, for your programmers to integrate and ingest all of the products that are out there and to get them like profiles and ready to roll, because there's so much stuff out there.
Yeah.
But once it's there, then now your product is ready to integrate across multiples all at the same time.
It depends on the camera. Usually it really depends on the camera builder, because, for example, with you, it's quite easy. You have your camera, you have your protocol, we discuss, we exchange, you give us the protocol, we implement it, and you have the protocol well defined for all your camera together. So it's quite easy. And then you do the video pipeline on your side, and everything is correct. So it's easy, but with some camera builder, it's more complex because some don't want to share the protocol because they want a closed solution. On some, they share the protocol, but they are camera builder, not broadcasters.
Yeah.
This is also something that is sometimes difficult, is that vision engineer and broadcast need some parameters. Some are mandatory, some are nice to have. And sometimes it's really complex to push to the camera builder. Okay, the vision engineer needs these parameters in the protocol, and it should be controlled this way to work it properly. So sometimes it takes more time than just implementing the protocol, because we have to discuss with the camera builder to make the protocol usable for a vision engineer. Because for a PTZ, you can just use it in automatic with just a joystick. It's one of the use cases.
Nice.
But making a vision engineer shade it, match it with other camera, you need some essential parameters.
Takes a fair bit more. Yeah, that's really interesting. There's so many use cases for this. So 2 questions then before I wrap up and let you get back to the show. First is a little more obscure, is how, if folks are wanting to get integrated with your products, like manufacturers want to get integrated, where do they start? Do they find somewhere on the website? Is there a direct line to email
they can go on our website. There is a contact form, so they can just send us an email and we will answer quickly, or they can come to our booth and visit us.
Okay, cool.
We are quite open. We are also on the network on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. So we are quite open to discussion. So if an integrator wants to add the product, just ping us and we will do it.
Awesome. And the second then would be, if folks want to find out more, what's the best place to find them?
The website. The website is not really our best point, but you have a contact form. So usually it's easier to just contact us by email. You fill in the form, you send us your question, you explain your use case, and we will answer, because it's quite complex to shed any camera, because yes, we are a universal RCP, but we need to understand a lot of the workflow, how people will use it, if the camera is IP, Wi-Fi, Ethernet, if it is remote production or not. So usually it's better to have a small discussion. Sometimes we even do a video call because it's easier. We get on a call, okay, what are you doing? What is your need? And then we find a good solution.
Again, I can't imagine being like a universal controller. That's because it's just like there's thousands of products out there, but you have a system in place to get people onboarded and like figure out their solution.
But I think our main struggle is both to understand what universal means, because yes, we are universal, but even for BirdDog camera, for example, if you take the P4K or the P100, the shading capability are not the same. And,
they're different.
You have to make the people understand that it's not an issue on our side, that it's the camera that has some limitation, sometimes the camera itself or just the protocol, and we cannot do much about that. So it's the first struggle. And the second one is IP, because we need to explain to people that our RCP, because it's universal with the protocol, it's like a mini computer. So it's a mini computer. In our RCP, it's quite uncommon, and we talk over IP, so they have to understand what is an IP, what is routing, what is IP conflict, and stuff like that. So
Okay, cool. That's really helpful. I like that. First of all, there's a way to get in touch with you guys and figure out use case stuff that seems to be thought out quite well. But also then this is what you guys do. Like, this is your wheelhouse. And so if folks want to get on board, they can check you out on the website, fill out the form, which would send in an email, and then you guys can get in touch. Awesome. Well, thanks so much, man. Thanks for stopping by the booth. I really appreciate it.
Me too.
And we will probably run into you quite often at this point. So, thanks again. I really appreciate that. I'm really looking forward to seeing more of what you guys got. I'm going to swing by your booth in a day or so.
Come and say hello. I will show you a little bit what we do. And I'm really happy to be here, especially because we really like BirdDog, because the products are nice, and we have the same vision about the customer relation. I see that you are really focused on the clients. You help them on the social network. You are really easy to reach, and it's something that we try also to do on our side. So
and we want our stuff to work with your stuff too. So it's like if it works together, then it's great, better for the client, and everybody wins. So
for sure. That's our view too.
Exactly. Well, thanks so much. I appreciate it, and
thank you.
We will see you around.
See you there.
Cheers. Thank you.
Bye.